Students, welcome back to our chemistry classmate. So we shall continue the few more expected models for the NEET examination. So look at the next question. The ratio between potential energy and total energy of electron in hydrogen atom according to Bohr atom. So ratio between potential energy and total energy. This is a simple basic question. If you remember the potential energy value, potential energy of electron equal to, do you remember the formula? Minus ZE square by R. Similarly, what is the total energy of the electron? Minus ZE square by 2R. So if you take these two ratio, what happened here? Z value equal to 1 because Z atomic number of atom. Here hydrogen is the atom. So if you replace, what you get here? PE by TE equal to minus E square by R divided by minus E square by 2R. And what you get here? 2. That means 2 is to 1. So potential energy equal to 2 times total energy. Is it clear? So based on this, if they are asking the different atoms, just remember the Z value. So from here you can create the kinetic energy also, because potential energy plus kinetic energy equal to total energy. So based on energy, whatever the question they asked, this is only the way. It is very simple. So now look at the next question. Dissociation enthalpies of CH4, C2H6 and C2H4 are 400, 680 and 540 kilocalorie per mole respectively. Sigma CH, sigma Cc and pi Cc bond energies respectively are. So first of all, CH4, methane, ethane and ethylene, energy is given, bond energy is given, dissociation enthalpy is given. So they are asking about the bond energies. So it is also very simple and very important. For example, CH4. In CH4, how many CH bonds are there? 4 CH bonds. That means 4 CH bonds are there in CH4. Total dissociation energy 400 kilocalories per mole given. Then 1 CH bond. 1 CH bond, but all CH bonds are sigma bonds only, no? So 1 CH bond, how much it is? 400 by 4. Then you get 100 kilocalorie per mole. Is it clear? Now look at the next, C2H6. In C2H6, this is the structure of C2H6. So 6 CH bonds and 1 CC bond is there. Now total energy how much given? 680. So sigma Cc equal to 680 minus 6 CH bonds. Each CH bond 100 already we found. That is why 600 minus 680 minus 600. What you get here? 80 kilocalorie per mole. Is it clear? Now third one, observe here, pi Cc. In ethylene, ethylene, this is the structure. In ethylene, 4 CH sigma bonds, 1 sigma Cc bond, 1 pi Cc bond. Is it okay? Already we found these two. So total energy of ethylene how much given? 540 minus, what is the bond energy we are supposed to subtract here? Sigma Cc. Already how much we got? 80 plus how many CH bonds are there? 4. That means 400. That means 540 minus 80 plus 400. So 540 minus 480. 540 minus 480. What you get here? 60. So 100, 80 and 60. 100, 80 and 60. So which is the correct one? This is the correct one. Is it clear? Now look at the next question. How many bridging oxygen atoms are present in P4O10? So P4O10, if you observe the structure, you take the structure in this way: phosphorus, oxygen, oxygen, phosphorus, phosphorus, and then oxygen, oxygen, phosphorus. Take like this, 4 phosphorus. So if you attach it, you'll get the structures like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 oxygens. Now here one more oxygen, one more oxygen, one more oxygen, one more oxygen. So total 8. In between these two phosphorus, one oxygen. In between these two phosphorus, one more oxygen. See there in the bridge how many oxygens are present? In this 4 and inside 2. So total 6. 4 are outside. So then what will get here? 6. Is it clear? Now look at the next question. The second electron gain enthalpy in kilojoule per mole of oxygen and sulfur respectively are. Second electron gain enthalpy. You know, oxygen by taking one electron it converted into oxygen minus. By taking one more electron what will get here? It is oxygen minus 2. Similarly sulfur by taking one electron S minus 1. By taking one more electron it is S minus 2. So first addition is you know that exothermic, but second addition definitely it is endothermic. This is also endothermic. So energy supposed to supply. So in these two, oxygen and sulfur, in which case energy you are supposed to supply more in the case of oxygen, because here only two shells. So electrons are very close to the nucleus. That is why addition of electron is somewhat difficult. That is why more energy you are supposed to supply. So this is not the numerical, just identification of the energy differences only. So highest energy required in the case of oxygen with positive because endothermic, compared to oxygen energy, sulfur energy is somewhat less. So which combination is the better one here? 780 and 590. Is it clear? Now this is also one of the important model. The observed rotation of 2 grams of compound in 10 ml solution is in a 25 centimeters long polarimeter tube is 13 plus 13.4 degrees. The specific rotation of the compound is specific rotation. So generally specific rotation formula is what? The optical activity, specific rotation alpha lambda T as per the polarimeter experiment. So you know polarimeter optical activity how to identify. In that context this question is very important. So alpha lambda nothing but how much wavelength that light at what temperature we are doing, equal to alpha by C into L. This is the formula. Is it clear? So this alpha nothing but observed value already given. What it is? Plus 13.4. C nothing but concentration. In that polarimeter how much concentration you are supposed to take. That to that concentration we must be taken in terms of gram per milliliter. Gram per milliliter. So first identify the concentration. Concentration equal to gram. Weight nothing but how much given here? 2 grams. Volume how much given? 10 ml. So then what will get here? 0.2 ml. Length equal to how much given? 25 centimeters. But as per the criteria we must be considering decimeters. That is why 25 divided by 10. What will get here? 2.5 decimeters. Is it clear? Is it clear?